feel your feelings or get over it? Which is it? Ever wonder which is the one? Get over it or feel your feelings. Sometimes I want to feel my feelings. Sometimes I want to get over it. Which is the best way? Well, I want you to listen to my story so you can figure it out for yourself. Now, I was scammed by someone. I was a fool. If I told you this story, you'd think I was a fool. You'd understand why I did it, because the person was promising me things I now know I could never have. They couldn't do it. But I wanted to believe it. And I wanted to be dependent and get their help. And of course, after I figured out I was scammed, I felt mostly shame because I thought I should have known better. And then compassion came in, and I realized, of course, I was a new writer. I didn't know the ways of marketing. I didn't know his ways. He was very slick and offered me amazing things, and I would have to do nothing. And as a new author, I didn't want to do anything, and I wanted the moon. So I paid more money than I'd ever paid for anything, and then felt guilty afterwards as well as ashamed. Stuck in those feelings. And then wisdom came to me, and I really understood, don't let him take more from you, Rosalind, than he already has. And the most he was taking, I was also willingly giving, which was my peace of mind. I stopped being willing to give up my peace of mind. And so life went on. I made peace with the learning I'd made. I did the best I could. I didn't allow the story to replay. I didn't tell a lot of people. I didn't keep on telling because it would have made the story worse. I did some things. I didn't just roll over. I checked things out and pretty much decided, for my own peace of mind and the amount of money I could get back, it wasn't worth it. Yeah, I could ruin his life. I could easily ruin his life, and then my life would be ruined as well. What do you think about revenge tactics? Do they work for the revenger? No, of course not. And I never would have let it go that far. I know too much about peace and about acceptance. And not everything in life is just as you would like it to be. Have you learned that? I've learned it. I learned it big time with Melissa, and I'm learning it again. So I went on with my life. If I thought about it, did it bother me? Maybe 20%, but that was it. And then one day he called, and I found myself picking up the sword again. I was back in it. What's he doing? What can I do? What is he doing? Oh my God. All right. So awareness, personal awareness, my watching myself was like, oh, no, 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 no. This is not it. Now I want to tell you a story. it seems like it's not going to be a fit, and hopefully it will be a great fit because you will see where you stand and see if it's kind of similar to mine. So there was a singer on America's Got Talent, and she came up to the stage, and I can't even do it, but she was doing some very odd movements with her hands. They didn't exactly appear autistic, they just appeared very anxious, but it's not for me to diagnose her from her hand movements, but I'm just trying to give you a little bit of a picture. And of course, anxiety is contagious, and the hosts, the judges were getting nervous. And then she sang, oh my God. She was transporting, and her voice was transporting. And even though I'm not an opera connoisseur, neither are those judges. And none of us knew the words. They were, I believe, Italian. But we were transported into this passionate world that she lives in. She wasn't even the same girl that was doing all that. And here's the deal. Simon said to her, why were you so nervous? And she said, listen up, everyone. She said, because of the bullying, because of the bad people who had treated me badly. He looked at her with, I mean, I look like me, not like Simon Cowell, but he gave her a look. And after all the judges praised her, he said, I never want to hear that story again. Not about bullies, not about the bad people. What did he mean? He meant you have an opportunity for a new life, a new narrative. And if you keep on picking up the sword to hurt them back or to suffer your wounds from their swords, you won't receive the gift of this voice and the gift of this audience and the love that is now available in the whole world for you. He didn't say all that. He's Simon Cowell. I'm saying it. So, which is it? Feel your feelings or get over it? Are you coming to it's both? There's a time and a place for processing. There was a time I had to see kind of why I fell for this scam, how I felt about the scammer, and pull myself away from the fight, even though I had right on my side and could possibly win in the world's terms. But I knew that for me, I would lose the gift of loving my life every day that I was in a fight with that person. So I decided to let it go. But I had to process those feelings. And it didn't feel good to feel ashamed of myself or imagine that I was unworthy because I fell for this slick man. But there's a third thing besides get over it and feel your feelings. And that's the wish to get over it and keep the sword. There's a wish to feel free and still be burdened with the fight that's inside me. What is that? We're not ready to let the sword down, at least to me. So I ask you, are you trying to hold the sword and give it up at the same time by feeling your feelings? Feeling your feelings without letting the sword down because it's hurting you. I don't know. Is it possible? Show me how. Show yourself how. Do you feel like time healed soul wounds? Write to me and let me know where you are on your dilemma. We're all going to have stuff happen. That's life, right? So let me know. For you, is it both? Feel your feelings while you're in process and then let the sword down entirely, because you can't hold it a little. That just keeps you from knowing that you're holding the sword. And by the way, skipping over your processing your feelings only as a therapist, I can tell you, and if you've ever yelled at someone out of context and found, where'd this come from? It came from not handling your feelings when you knew what they were about and you said, oh, I'll just get over it, or I'll just push it down, or it's not that important. Has that happened to you? Have you ever wondered when you push something down why another time you felt angry or hurt in an exaggerated way? So I leave you with a gift, a formula. Feel your feelings and let life help you to know when it's time to let the sword down. And if you have another way to work on this, please share, because I am so open and I am so ready to have you come on and tell us about it or write to me, because we'd all really love to know how you process feeling wronged, feeling hurt, feeling pain, or just experiencing some kind of loss. How do you handle it? I'd love to know. Bye for now.